She's gone.
She's the one that saved it.
She saved everything. She saved
her writing.
Her writing.
You got to be careful now because there's a bunch of material.
There's other material.
The Observer program.
Right.
All their reports
was saved.
Right.
Right.
Were saved, and Ed Rodman got those to Jamie.
Right.
Then the attorney.
Osler. John Osler was the head.
He got all the paperwork
from the Observer.
From Phyllis Ryan.
Right.
And got that to Jamie.
Right.
And Jamie took, I don't know, 4 or 5 years of going through all this material.
The paperwork.
I mean, Jamie did an awesome job
absolutely.
in putting this book together. The book is written by Jamie with Ralph Hamm, Robert Dellelo, and Ed Rodman. We simply were verifying and giving information to her and clarifying what this and that meant so that she got a clearer picture.
Right.
But she did an amazing job in writing this book. This is an amazing historical document. It is well worth reading.
It has to be clear, this isn't a novel.
No.
This isn't somebody's story about what I did when I was doing time. This is historical fact that has been well documented, has been under the eyes of many different entities, pro and con, and it's something I personally am going to buy the book and send it to my former professors. I think it should be, and I think it will become part of curriculum in many schools.
This book will show you why prisons don't work and won't work. And it's true across the country.
I think it also shows that people of multicultural individuals can work together.
Absolutely.
Without seeing, I mean, it's like
Absolutely.
there's such a stereotype of what it's like in prison, and there's the black group and the Hispanic group and the white group. I don't see that in there.
Well, see, what the Department of Corrections does, it has to divide and conquer prisoners, right? So it is not unusual for a guard to come up to white prisoners and say, hey, these niggas over here, they're doing this, that, and the other thing. And then they go to the black prison and says, you better watch out for these white guys because, and they cause the division, right? Well, we had enough of that. What happened in Walpole was a white prisoner, black prisoner were having a fight. Had nothing to do with race. It was simply two men got in an argument with each other, and they went to blows, all right? The guards ran down the corridor screaming, race riot, race riot. I'm telling you straight up. They ran down there, and everybody in the prison armed up. Everybody was out in the corridor, the black guys with their weapons, the white guys with their weapons, and the good part of it is the individuals that trusted each other. White prisoners that trusted certain black prisoners that trusted certain white prisoners. They met in the corridor. All right? And said, like, what the fuck is going on? And said, well, I don't know. And they said, there's a race riot. I said, what race riot?
A race riot.
This guy and this guy are having a fight.
They're having a fight.
These guys came out into the corridor and said, like, this has nothing to do with race. We just got peeved at each other and went to blows.
We went to
and
blows.
These idiots ran down the prison exploded. The white, Spanish, black prisoners tore the prison apart. They got their riot, but not the one they were looking for. But this helped us with our unity. And like at the time, the guards wore a khaki uniform and the prisoners wore a blue uniform. And when we were doing the organizing, that was one of the things we said, listen, there's only two colors in the prison, blue and khaki. You're on one side or the other, all right? And we drew everybody together. And then we had a thing in an auditorium. We got all the prisoners together in the auditorium and told guys, look, for the next 6 months, and this is in the book, describes this, for the next 6 months, all racial beefs, all personal beefs, go to the curb. And there were gangs that were in the prison, heavy hitters, not just street gang people, that were killing each other on the street. And there was a neutral territory inside the prison. And they were concerned. But we had said, look, if everybody agrees that for the next 6 months, no violence. Everybody jumps together and we all go in the same direction. Anybody who violates that, we will take them out. And the individuals that put this up on Front Street, the other prisoners that were serious individuals said, okay, we'll buy that. If that's your word, then okay, we'll put our shit to the side. and we put everything to the side, and that prison unified. And I mean, we were talking, the stuff that we were talking and trying to set up in the prison is the very stuff they're talking about today. We were talking about it over 30 years ago.
Over 30 years ago.
And we threatened the system. And you see this in the book. It'll show you the direction. And I mean, you'll be outraged. Say, you know, like, wow, if corrections went in that direction, the recidivism rate would be like way, way down. Right? And we would have less and less prisons. Like I said, Massachusetts and in other states, it's the same story. We spend more money in corrections than we do in higher education. That's insane.
The other thing I want to say is this is a great book for academics, people in the business and everything. But prisoners themselves, I look at this as prisoners themselves can learn what we did and understand that they need to get together themselves. They need to stop the foolishness.
That's true, but what I think is more important is across the United States, every university, every college that has criminal justice programs, sociology programs, this book should be part of the curriculum.
I agree, totally.
This is the real deal. This isn't theoretical.
Right.
This is the rubber meeting the road. This isn't what some theorist is saying.
You're not writing it.
This happened. This is real.
Yeah.
This is history.
This is history.
This shows you how these all things came together. It's like I had explained to you before. If you peel back all the filaments that overlay and make the concept of prison, if you get it all out of the way and you look dead at it, all right, one of our problems is we're trying and attempting to take logic, ration, and reason and make sense out of insanity. Prisons, when you look at them, are insane. The concept is insanity.
Let's box a bunch of the same together and hope that they all change.
Yes, right. Sounds like what they want to do on the Thames, right? I know it. I know it. No, it doesn't. Of course it
Which
doesn't.
is when I look, having worked in the mental health field, and the whole idea of closing the mental health system was people need to be segregated into society in order for them to assimilate.
Right.
But they don't apply that to the prison structure, which is a more likely, it's more likely for it to happen with someone, as you said, who can be educated,
Teachable,
and given resources.
trained, resources, right. Than somebody
than
who
someone
is
who's
incapable.
going to be paranoid schizophrenic forever. And I'm not dissing anyone, I'm just saying that
right.
they have a condition that will be with them for life and will require alterations, medications and therapy for life.
Right.
Well, understand what a 68% recidivism rate is saying. It's saying that you're taking individuals, and it's documented, you're taking individuals into a prison system, and you're putting them on the street worse than when they came in.
Now, you told a story again last night where you take someone in, well, and you just mentioned it, sensory deprivation, and you drop them on the street without any time between being isolated. They don't get a chance to go back into the community of the prison to vent some of that anger or frustration. They're just dropped. They're let out.
Well, the thing is, you know a guy's wrap-up day.
Right.
He's going to be released, wrapped up in 2 years. Why would you give that individual a 3-year sentence to a segregation unit that you know in a 3-year time frame, 2-year time frame, sensory deprivation is going to incapacitate this individual?
And he's going
you
to be
have him in a
released.
prison system that you take all his abilities to adjust. I did 40 years.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I get out on the street, all right, my brother and sister-in-law brought me to a CVS to get shaving stuff. And I had to get a toothbrush. In the prison, there was one toothbrush, a white toothbrush. It came in soft, medium, and large bristle. Hard bristle. We get out there, and there were 2 long shelves of toothbrushes, every shape, color, size. You had no idea. You could probably mine gold with some of these things. I don't know what the hell they did, all right? I was physically incapable of picking a toothbrush. And I told my sister, I said, Lo, just grab one for me. I just couldn't do it. and said, just grab a medium bristle.